I got this tip from Rob Dydrek's videos, but this is what to do. This is a quick tip to do when there's so much ideas and stuff bouncing around. Oh, so that's the air condition, and behind there is the washing machine. But life's not perfect, so we're not gonna wait till the end. The trick is when there's chaos, like right now is not really chaos, but when there's chaos, when there's nothing working, right? When it's, what do I do? I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. The trick, it's not really a trick. It's like something you have to train yourself to do actually. So it's a skill. And I learned it from Rob Dydrek's video. You have a certain amount of RAM in your brain, right? When you open up, we have too many processes, that's when overwhelm happens. And so when you're in a situation like that, what the situation is, it doesn't matter what the situation is, it's causing your brain to be over-processed, right? And so if you had Windows 95 or Windows XP, you had to Control-Alt-Delete and remove some processes. And so the problem is, when you're in this situation, most of the processes are probably important, and that's why you're in this situation. So you have 4 or 5 important things. Oh, I gotta go to a wedding tomorrow. I gotta go. I really have to eat because I haven't eaten, and now I'm not gonna do good if I don't eat. And I gotta sleep at a certain amount of time. And then these aren't actual situations. My current situation is gotta get the bike repaired, gotta order the USB thing to save $1,000, but it's not gonna come till Friday, but I don't have the money. But how do I make the money? Okay, but I also owe $1,200 at the end of the week. If I owe $1,200 at the end of the week, how am I gonna pay for that? But I gotta get the flight so I can go next week to Idaho to work this job. But how am I gonna get the flight if I don't have the money? But then if I have but then the whole point of going to Idaho is to do Trans Am, this bike race, 4,200 mile bike race. How am I gonna do the bike race if I don't have the supplies? So I have to order the supplies before I go to Idaho, because I'm not gonna really be able to order the specific expensive items that I really need. Like, one already came in, that bike bag over there came in, and that's gonna save me a lot of time, and it's save me space and energy. So getting it now is like the equivalent of $500 during the race, but it costs only $200. And then that bike has to get repaired. How am I gonna get repaired if there's no money to repair the bike? And can I do this without debt? So there's all these things all happen at once, and so I'm gonna have to close out some tasks, right? Unfortunately, but they're all important tasks. But we're gonna have to close them out. So what did we close out? Fortunately, I sent an email to my lender, and I said, this is the second time I've ever missed a payment. So I said, but I don't count it as missed if I put a finder's fee, if I put an extra fee. So I said, okay, I'm gonna miss your payment, but I'm gonna pay you extra. Compromise. Boom. A lot. Now I can move again. Oof, I can move. Okay. Also have to edit a video. Also have to transfer all my files. It's an unrelated cycling video. I may or may not comment on it. Imagine all all my broke like me crowd. Actually, yeah, maybe let's put it. Why not? We'll link it. And then, so okay, that process closed out. Okay. Oh crap, I still have to do something. I still have to work to make the money to pay for a lot of things. So I spent 1 day or 2 days editing one of the videos, because I'll never be able to edit it later. So that's high priority, but low urgency. I don't know, there's a chart somewhere. None of this is following the chart anyway. And then the next thing I did was I ordered all the stuff. I compromised. I ordered everything. And then I figured out how to do it cheaply. So I thought, this time I was thinking. Before I wasn't thinking. It's all chaos. This time I said, I know I don't normally save money when I do these, and I do things, I do the most expensive thing, but let's try to think this time. So I said, okay, you know what? The bill was $4,400 for all the extra little supplies. Let me see if I can pull up the Amazon. But we got it down to $250. We're gonna reuse things this time. Now the problem is with that, that can cost more time. Because look, say I have to finagle all these little things, that could be the whole day. But screw it. Let's just make the habit of not spending, even though it's costing me money and time. Oh shoot, that order didn't go through. Oh crap. Okay, one didn't go through. Oh crap, that didn't go through either. Okay, three. Okay, at least this is coming through. Okay, these are coming through. That's high priority. That's high priority. Well, that's not high. That's low priority. Oh, I should have just prioritized them. The stuff that I really need by a certain amount of time. Whatever. Too late. And then after that, boom. Closed out those processes. And so that's done. And then I ordered a USB thing for $200. And that was really tough because I didn't know what to get, and it took me like 4 hours of research. I don't have time for research. 20, 40, 60, 80. Could have made 80 gross, 15, 30, 45, 60 profit. Could have made 60 profit in that time. But you gotta keep moving. And then I got so tired that I took 2 naps. But like, if the brain RAM, if it's not moving, like, what else do you do? Just take the nap and refresh. So I think that's called restart computer. But the thing is, it's just too much pressure, but we'd still have to restart the computer. So we restarted the computer. I ended up missing a $70 reservation, 6 hours, $70 reservation, but usually they tip, so then they probably tip 20, 80, 90, maybe 15 an hour or something. Reservation. And if you think I'm good at math, I'm not. It's just that I have to do this so much for Uber. Twice passengers were like, wow, you're really good at math. One time she's like, hey, have you thought about joining my company? I said, I know that. That's called distraction. And then you don't want to do what you're supposed to do. And then you like the job and you're there forever because they treat you so good. And she was good, a nice lady, and I was like, man, her company is gonna treat me good. But that's one thing. And then the second guy was like, what do you say? We're both accountants. You're pretty good at math. I was like, nah, I just do this a lot. Like, same with us. I had Frank Sinatra playing with those guys. Certain crowd, the business crowd, they love it with Frank Sinatra because I think in their heads they're thinking, wow, America's not really getting that bad anymore. Wow, the younger generation, they think I'm young. The younger generations listen to Frank Sinatra. $4 tip, $4 ride. That's a, dang, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, so then we closed out that RAM. And then right now, I had to clean the house because the landlord was gonna come. And then if I don't clean the house, it's no good. Because then she's gonna clean and I'm gonna have to help her, but then I could do this on my own terms. I cleaned it 3 times because I thought she was gonna come 3 different times. Now I think she's coming. She's supposed to come like an hour ago and she didn't come. But it's her house, she can do whatever she wants. But it's just that I wanted to get that all ready so I didn't have to do it later. I think I spent about 4 to 5 hours a week this week on the cleaning, maybe even 6. Because in the beginning, it was really, really dirty. But yeah, so we exited that out. And now I just have to mow the lawn. She's not asking me to do this, but it makes things easier. Also, she broke her hand. But also, you got to keep in mind, when you do things for people, old people are the hardest. If you do things for old people, you will be their only friend. This happened 3 times. Yesterday, we had to pick up a dude. At first, I would have felt bad. I'd be like, man, poor old man. But after the 3rd time it happens, you're taking people to hospital visits. And then you realize, oh my gosh, this is like a part-time job. I should just become an EMT. And then the EMT actually met an EMT, and he said he doesn't want to be an EMT anymore because he has to help all these helpless people who don't want to take their meds. But hey, that's just another side of things. I don't know. I've never been an EMT, so I don't know if it's always like that. But back to how to So then, oh, you could probably just skip here. I'm gonna try to remember to put a link to this part. The key is skip all the processes, close out processes. Everything's important, but you're just gonna have to pick a couple. Pick the ones that are the most urgent, which is gonna be very hard to do at the time. And as you do the task, you're gonna think about the other task. But if you could just, play some music in the background, you'll do the task. Or what you have to do is trick yourself. So you have to say, hey, I have a candy bar, but I'll only eat the candy bar when I get started and start doing this for 5 minutes. Now, most people don't do the task straight through. So what you could do to save time is you have to do the task until you complete it. If you do one tab on Facebook or your phone, you'll do a 30-minute task in 2 to 4 hours. But you could literally do tasks that we're used to do in 4 hours in 30 minutes by not ruining the flow state with your phone. That's not a fantasy Robert Dydrek thing. I added that, but I don't think he has any problems with that. But anytime, because then your brain's just switching, right? Okay, so close out the processes, and then if you just skip to this part of the video, you could listen to my examples in the beginning of the video. So there's different. So you're a Windows computer. You want to close out as many processes as you can, but just start out with one, but close it out as quickly as possible so that you can have more RAM. When you have more RAM, you can get more stuff done. And at some point, you might just be working for an hour, like I was, and get tired. Then you have to refresh. You have to restart the computer. So Control Alt Delete and Control Alt Delete, and then right click, close process, right? But then I think there's a button. There might be a restart button under there. I haven't used Windows 95 in a long time. And then that Pitfall was such a good game. Tetris. We played Tetris on the there's a word processor, and then we played Minesweeper. I can't believe we played it. I didn't even know how to play. You just keep clicking. Oh, Pinball was the best, but that was Windows XP. And then we played Pinball. Dude, Pinball was... Dude, my brother got to 5 million. That night, we were trying to... We never got to 5 million before. And we were trying to beat the game. And then we got to like 3 or 4, and someone got to... So you had to do the missions. So we were doing all the missions. And apparently when you do the missions, you get like tons of points. And then when you beat a level, it gets harder, but it's wild. And then we got to 5 million, and we're like... We didn't even have screenshots back then. We didn't. With this Mac, I can screenshot. With this phone, we didn't have screenshots. I'm sure there was a way to I could have taken a picture with like a Polaroid. Could have taken a picture with a Polaroid. That was back in 2003. Man, we hit 5 million. That was a great moment for all of us. And that was before we started getting obsessed with Nintendo 64. But we played The Sims. Dude, we were so... SimCity. Dude. Man, if we had World War... We played RuneScape. I didn't get addicted to RuneScape, though. I had a friend who did. He got pissed off because I wanted to change my account name. And I was at level 38. And he was going hardcore. He was playing like 10 hours a day. And I said, I hate my account name. I'm going to change it. I can't even access it anymore because it was with a Lycos email. Lycos.com probably. It's a .lycos.com email. But back then in the day we had we had that blog, dude, what's it called? We had that stupid blog site. Zanga. Do you remember Zanga? Oh man, it's 14 minutes. I gotta do the lawn before the lawn comes. Then after the lawn, what am I gonna do after the lawn? Let's put this in the internet. What am I gonna do after the lawn? Eat. I gotta eat. But I want to shower. But then I also the bathtub is I cleaned it. I made it. Oh, dude, you wanna see? It's shiny. Dude, I just cleaned this. Did you watch my last video? That took 2 hours of work, so 2 to 3 hours of time. So I should have, because I have to organize things. But if you've seen my room before, so all the time organizing this room, I probably could have made 40 to 80 bucks. Dang, I look good at this angle. If I get a girlfriend, I'm only gonna look at her with this angle. Yeah, make it shiny. Oh, what's that? Then I clean the kitchen again. Made that shiny. Now we gotta do yard. So that landlord, the goal is for the landlord to walk in, walk out. Oh man, I saw this while we're wasting so much time. I saw this video on let me see if I can pull it up. Dude, this was such a good video. I've never seen a better video than this. So what I did was, let me see if I can pull it up. I should be a live streamer. No way, I would hate my life. Stupid. There's so many good like Facebook groups, but the trick is delete the ones that are negative, but there's some good writing ones. Also, there's a guy who read my comment. That's part of the reason I'm keeping making these videos. Oh shoot, what am I looking for? People are gonna be like, oh, this is a 15-minute video. But literally I could have just put 2 minutes. Oh, this guy's so good. Okay, let's see.
Be more valuable. In other words, be a leader. When I was a young musician and I let the audience tell me what song to play, they would first praise me for playing one of their favorites, and then they would pay less attention, talk more over the music, give less applause when I finished my performance, and pay me less money. Also, when recalling the performance later, they would only talk about how it was so cool that I played their favorite song, and how I was a great guy for doing it, and then quickly forget that it ever happened. But if I chose what song to play because I knew it would create the best experience for the audience, even when people requested something else, the people who came up to me afterward would talk about everything. They would talk about how amazing it was, that they heard things they'd never heard before and felt things they'd never felt. They would talk about coming up with ideas and realizing life lessons. They would shout louder and clap harder at the end. They would pay me more money and remember the performance for years to come. And it made me realize that you can change people's lives when you choose to step up and lead, even when others are telling you to do what they want you to do, and you will be valued for it. No one will ask for your leadership, because everyone already has an idea of how things should go. But if you step up and carve your own path, you will provide so much value to the world that you will be remembered and rewarded for years to come.
So
if you want to be respected by the people around you, use this.
That's relevant because there's this girl I was talking to one time, and man, she saw me how I was in the future very briefly, because she could see my potential in the future, but she didn't until she saw who I was now. But she was so attractive that I started to get really clingy, and she was like a version of me. She had a lot of my traits, but was better at everything that I was trying to do, and she also had what I lacked, which was so attractive, because it was like polar. It was like the opposite too. And what happened was, at one point I was like, I gotta go back to my house. You want a home? And I'd be like, oh no, I don't know a home. But I got clingy, and clingy is when you start to do everything she wants to do, when you do your own thing. But you're not thinking about that when your bank account's like negative. You're just not thinking. You're just bumming around. But then my bank account's up. I'm a rocket ship, unstoppable. But you gotta get the bank account up. People say, "Oh yeah, money's not everything," but there are times where, and if I were Elon Musk, ate oranges every day for like oranges and bananas and like cheap stuff. And I've met Asperger people who could do that. And that's a superpower too, where if they need something, like they'll not eat. Should I say, because you could look at that person up, but never mind. It's an example I wanted to use, but that person might be in one of my videos. You might look me up and find that person. Anyway, wow, 20 minutes. Bye.